Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sheree and I am the founder of SC Nutrition. I'm a nutrition and running coach, personal trainer, fitness instructor, a jack of all trades and a master of some. So today you're going to find out a little bit more about me and how I came to be a running coach and into running, into fitness in general. Some of you that have known me for a few years, you know me as this vegan girl, loves fitness, loves running. Those of you that have known me for a lot longer knows that wasn't always the case. So I'm going to take you way back to the 90s, maybe into about 1994 when I was 5 years old. So from at the age of 5, even earlier than that actually, I loved reading. I could read to a higher level than I was. So at the age of 5 I was reading books that 9 and 10 year olds were reading. So I always found reading very easy from like a young age. I loved to read. I didn't like running up and down outside. I didn't like doing sports day. I would do it because it was fun, but I never won any. You know the little egg and spoon races you did at school? Sheree never won any of those. I did love to sing and dance though. I would force my little cousin to come and do dances with me. When I was about 6, she was about 3. I used to songwrite. My first interaction, you would say, with any kind of sports or running was when I was 10 or 11. Had a really good teacher, big up Mr. Ellis, wherever you are right now. And he decided to start a sprinting after school club, especially for kids like me that wasn't very social. I wasn't good at making friends. This time I was in year 6, so I was going on to year 7, so I wasn't going to be there for much longer. But I thought I wanted to go every week to do something different, maybe make some new friends. Couldn't run to save my life. Actually, to be fair, I was so bad, I was worse than some of the 7 and 8 year olds that were in the athletics club as well. Some of us were so bad that Mr. Ellis would take us aside where everyone else was practicing and teach us one-on-one together. One thing I did learn the techniques of sprinting, which was very good, but I just couldn't sprint at all. So when I was about 11, 12, the body fat started to drop off, and I assumed I could run okay because I had these sprinting techniques. And when I was at school, I was not popular at all. Like I said, I loved to read. I also had glasses and braces at this point. So think Ugly Betty, that was me, not cool at all. So when sports day rolled around, in my school, you had to vote who you wanted to run or do any of the events for sports day. I'm not sure if I did the high jump on this sports day, but I know I definitely didn't run because in the votes, another girl got voted in because she was popular and I wasn't. So I didn't do that sports day at all. So again, no running for me. Now the next year, because the girl they voted in the first year didn't do that well, I got voted in to run a few races in the second year. And to be honest, I don't really remember, I was about 13, I don't remember how well I did, but I don't think I did that badly. So that was me sprinting along, and I know I did high jump every year because I was one of the tallest girls in the class and the only girl that was willing to do the high jump. And I used to win every year simply because after the second jump, everyone else used to fall over because they were about 5 foot and they just couldn't jump very well. So I used to win high jumps by default when I was at school, only because I was tall. I don't know how good I am at high jump. I've never really learned the technique because I literally used to just step over it. That's how small it was when everyone else would come out. So then about 14, when I was in Army Cadets, our adults in the Army Cadets said that there's some athletic games that we will have to take part in. We were like, okay, we're not that great at athletics, but we'll do it. If everyone's doing it, we'll do it. When you're in Army Cadets, what everyone else is doing, you're a teenager, you'll do. Every week we had to do exercise, like fun and games, basketball. Sometimes someone would come in and train us. Sometimes I liked it. I didn't like the training part. I liked the fun and games. I liked the training part. We had to do that every week. So when they said the athletics, we were like, okay, we might as well join in. Now, in Army Cadets, I don't know about now, but back then, there was 4 girls and about 25 boys. And there was also about 20 different events. Maybe there was less than 25 boys, but there was enough boys to do one event each. So us girls were like, okay, we'll do one event each. There's 4 of us, we'll do 4 of the events. So the adult was like, no, it doesn't work like that. All the girls have to do all the events, because if we don't have a full roster, none of us can do it. So it was like, okay, if the girls don't do it, none of us can do it. We all have to do it or nothing. So it was all down to us. So us 4 were like, okay, I guess for girls that don't run or anything like that, I guess we're going to try and do all these athletic events. And it was proper track and field. So we had to do 100 meters, 200 meters, relay race. We also had to do javelin. I think we had to do discus, high jump, long jump, all sorts of events that none of us really did before. You had to do different heats as well. And also I forgot to mention, at this point I was also quite asthmatic as a child. So as a teenager, doing any kind of sprinting, I thought I was going to have an asthma attack at the end, so I just have my inhaler with me all the time. I couldn't go further than 200 meters, by the way, guys, because after that my lungs didn't work properly. So we did quite well as girls. Like me, default at high jump. So I actually got through to the regional finals for high jump and for relay. So me and another girl went. I came 3rd in the UK for high jump, so there we go. And having long legs helps sometimes. But again, I wasn't very interested in sports. I liked doing PE at school. I didn't do PE at GCSE because I wasn't that good for it. Again, something that popular kids do. I was only good at things like, you know, rounders, beat tests, things where it was fun and you didn't need much skill. Things like volleyball, badminton, tennis, Even going to the gym when we were in school, diving, all of that, I was not good. I can swim, I'm never been a strong swimmer. So I was just good at the basic things that I could just be like, okay, I'm just gonna get up and go. Anything that required a skill, couldn't do it. So fast forward a little bit, after Army Cadets, I went to Police Cadets, and we used to do activities every week, like sports stuff, but it was always like basketball or rounders. It was never anything too difficult. It was always a lot of fun. I made a lot of good friends at Police Cadets, so we were just having fun with our friends. It didn't feel like exercise, it felt like sports. Other than that, I did no fitness. Again, loved a bit of reading on my weekends. That's what I would do, reading. You know, you're a teenager, I did shopping, I used to get my nails done, used to have my hair done, eyelashes, all that jazz. Didn't have any I think I owned some trainers when I was 16, and then after that I wanted to be a model, so trainers went away, high heels came in, and I don't think I really wore any trainers at all for years and years, or sneakers if you are in the US. I wore like Converses, like as a fashion statement, but you never saw me with trainers on, ever. Then when I got, fast forward a bit, when I got to uni, I wanted to model, I always wanted to lose weight, so I was always in the latest fads. I think I had rollerblades at one point, I bought stuff like ab machines, just never used this stuff. I was like, I need to lose weight, and I tried all these different things. I joined the gym at one point in uni, yeah, that lasted for about a month, and I was like, I'm not going anymore, and then I just ignored their calls. And it wasn't like now where gyms are everywhere and all the rest of it, you could just sign up. This one, I had to find where it was online, find it on a map, go to where it was. It had this massive induction when you went there, go for all the things, and then you signed up there, and it was a big malarkey. It wasn't like here where it's easy, I just signed up online and then go to my gym, that's that, done and dusted. Yeah, it was a big malarkey. There wasn't personal trainers in that gym at the time. It was literally like 10 years ago. In the UK, we are quite new to the gym scene compared to my Canadians who had gyms for, you know, 30, 40 years and going strong. Did that, got rid of the gym, and I was like, okay, still need to lose a bit of weight. I didn't need to lose weight, by the way, guys, just so you know, FYI. So I'm gonna start walking. So I bought these walking shoes, like running, I don't know what, they were ugly, like these ugly alien things for about £20. And I'll just walk around in them. I don't know what to be fair, I don't know what I was doing with these shoes, but that's what I did. I also bought a bike, because when I got to 21, I bought a bike. I live not far from where I work, literally a 15-minute walk. And I'd ride my bike there, which was about a 5-minute bike ride, which was ridiculous. It was a 5-minute bike ride now and then. But I do like bike riding, because again, things that don't feel like exercise, I used to love doing stuff like that. So I bought a bike, it was like £60. And I thought, why not save myself from walking and ride my bike? The logic wasn't there, but it was all good. And then I moved back home, so that bike got left in my mum and dad's backyard. I don't know if they still have it actually. You ask my dad, it might still be there 10 years on, rusting. It got very rusty in that backyard in the rain of the UK. So that was that. That bike never got used again. And then I started these walking shoes, still trying to lose weight. So I used to walk to work, which is about a 20-minute bus ride when I was back in London. And it was about an hour walk. So I used to walk in these horrible walking shoes, and that's about it. Never did anything else. Oh no, actually, let me tell you, I joined the gym. There's a gym near my house, and I joined the gym near my mum's. I did the 3-month promo thing. Didn't do any weights, by the way. Didn't go on the treadmill because I don't run. I just went on the cross trainer and the rower. Loves a good rower. Any newbies to the gym, what do we go on first? The rower or the cross trainer. Anyone that's new to the gym, always do it. Love a good row. I still love a good row, I'm not gonna lie. I can go on the rower for the rest of my days, and I do love a good cross trainer as well. Going on it forever and ever. Yeah, I didn't really do much in that gym. I don't remember lifting any weights at all. I just remember doing freestyle and stuff. I just remember being on the row for like 30 minutes. Oh, what was I doing? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna fast forward on a little bit. Didn't really do anything else apart from my walking here or there. Didn't have another bike. Just getting on the bus. Got a car, driving my car, so I didn't really need to walk anywhere at this point. Come to when I was 25, I used to listen to this guy called Peter Sage quite a lot. Really great guy, motivational speaker. So I met him. He gave me all these audios that were quite a lot of money, and they were motivational audios. I was listening to like a New Year resolution audio, and he was like, right, for this year, make yourself a goal that you know you're never going to be able to reach, like an unreachable goal in your mind, in terms of your fitness, your health, and your body. And I was thinking, that's a good idea. I've never done a health goal before. I always do like a money goal, maybe a career goal, but I've never done something for my health, my fitness. I was like, right, I'm going to do a Tough Mudder this year. 2014. I was like, I'm going to run a Tough Mudder. And that idea came from the year before. One of my friends ran a Tough Mudder, and he said how hard it is, 10 miles, mud, running, challenging. But someone that had their little ad hoc sports day workouts, this was going to be something beyond my skill set, beyond what I was able to do. I told my said friend that done a Tough Mudder, he was like, you're never going to be able to do a Tough Mudder. You've never been to a gym, you can't even run 2 minutes down the road. And I was like, I know, that's why I've set the goal, because I want to challenge myself. I thought, okay, I'm going to prove him wrong, I'm going to start running today. Got these shoes, the walking shoes, fun times. I'm going to run 5k, going to get going. that didn't happen. I ran about 2k and I really felt like I was going to have an asthma attack. So at this point, I didn't really have any asthma anymore. A lot of people don't realize you can grow out asthma. I've been to the doctors and that's true. I came back from that run, I wasn't having an asthma attack. My lungs were on fire, my heart was on fire. If I had run 2k, that would have been a push. Absolute nightmare. So after that horrendous start, I just started running literally around the block, literally mostly about 400 meters if I could. It was harder, it was a struggle. My lungs couldn't take it. I was having a hard time. So then what happened was I ended up moving to Liverpool and I thought, okay, I'm going to start a Tough Mudder training plan. I couldn't do Tough Mudder that year because I had just moved, and where Tough Mudder was, it wasn't going to fit in with me moving, working and then doing Tough Mudder. What I did was started training. I went online, I got the Tough Mudder training plan, and it was like run 5k 3 times a week. So I was like, okay, let's get started with that. Couldn't even do that to start off with. I had to run 2k, stop, then run again, or run 2k out, stop, and then wait, and then run back home. And then I would do the rest of the workouts in the park, what they were saying. I had to Google half of them, I didn't know what it was. And then one day, once I thought I'd mastered up doing a 5k, I could do it like once or twice a week around Sefton Park, it's a lovely park in Liverpool. I decided I'm going to run a 10k. Finished my 10k, I felt amazing. Now, like I said before, I'm into everything. You say to me, Cherie, do you want to do X, Y, and Z? I'll be like, yeah, sure, sign me up for all of it, not knowing my skill set, if I'll be good at it, if I'll enjoy it, I'll just sign up and give it a go. When I was in Liverpool, I used to love to go to meditation classes. I'd never been before I went there, but I just started going, it was free, and I used to go every week. So I met a girl, and she was like, do you want to come to this Buddhist temple and come to a class there? I was up for it, 100% sure. I did this 10k, great, I had my shower, getting ready, get my makeup on. Just before I left, or just after I left, my back was saying, no, no, no. I was already running a little bit late, so I was like, right, I can't say to this guy I'm not coming. So I thought, okay, my back will be fine. When I got there, in this meditation, I couldn't even meditate for the whole thing because my back was in absolute agony. Obviously, running this 10k was too much for my body. Form was mostly out the window. Those shoes I had, the walking shoes, they're not made for running. So running with terrible shoes, terrible form, my back was finished. When I got home, I actually had to sleep on the floor to realign my back so it would stop hurting me. Luckily in the morning, I was okay. I think that was one of my last few runs that I did when I lived in Liverpool, and that was in the summer. I didn't really run or work out from that August 2014 to May 2015. Right, I need to do a Tough Mudder this year. I said I was going to do it last year, I didn't get a chance to. This year it's happening. Booked it for September, we're in May right now. I can run 5k, I know I've got that down. I know I can do some of the workout that I was doing from last year, I remembered that. So I was like, I'm going to get myself a gym membership. And I started running 5k on the treadmill. Ask me why I started doing that, because treadmills are boring as hell. I started running 5k on the treadmill 3 times a week, and then I would work out in between. So I was working out like 5 days a week and working at the same time. I just got promotion at work and doing all these workouts. I don't know why, but I went from 0 to 100 really fast. Anywho, managed to make it, I trained really hard, and I did the Tough Mudder in September. It was one of the best things I ever did. Also, being a total newbie to Tough Mudder, I went in ridiculous with goggles and gloves, which are unnecessary for doing one. I also forgot to take my acrylic nails, so I did a Tough Mudder with acrylic nails on. Not the best idea, but they didn't even fall off, so I didn't do that badly. And then I met a girl along the way, so we tag team and did the whole course together. After doing that, I was buzzing. When you finish a Tough Mudder, there's something about it, like the vibes is just, oh, up there. I was like, I'm going to do something more challenging, more difficult. I'm going to do a world's toughest mudder. Why? After doing one Tough Mudder? No, that's not what you do. I thought I'm going to start doing this world's toughest mudder. I'm going to be this athlete, this champion. These are my thoughts, right? After I started running, how long? After I had nearly died from a backache the year before. Come October, I started running, and then I actually quit the gym in the end because I was like, I'm going to save some money, just focus on running. So it was the end of March the next year, 2016, I was actually running like about 10 miles at this point, running quite well. And then it kind of tapered off towards the summer. So then come August 2016, I was like, hey, what am I doing? Am I going to go back to the gym? I'm going to start running. I think running had become part of me now. It definitely, I did have the running bug, I just didn't have the consistency with it. I went on holiday, I was by myself, and with my thoughts, I was thinking about what I wanted to do with my life. So I thought, okay, when I go back, I want to sign up again for another Tough Mudder, something similar, and I'm going to move to Canada. So that was my plan. At this point, it's August 2016, no thoughts of ST nutrition, by the way, no thoughts of ST running, being a nutritional running coach, it wasn't in my mind. Come October 2016, I signed up for Europe's Toughest Mudder. It was the first one. I was like, this is just what I need. It's an upgrade for Tough Mudder. I'm going to do that. Started training for it. And by the time January came, I was running half marathons. Again, I went to 0 to 100 quite quickly, but my body managed to adjust to it very easily. One thing that I did that I wouldn't recommend, for my first half marathon, I bought new shoes, and yeah, my toenail fell off, so don't do that. Going back to running shoes, Can we rewind for a minute? When I did my first Tough Mudder, I forgot to mention that I had to buy running shoes for the first time because I didn't have any. I had those horrible walking shoes. I bought about 10 pairs online and tried them all on to figure out what ones were the best. I settled with New Balance. New Balance are my favourite running shoes still up to this day. The reason why I needed new ones when it came down to the half marathon, because I'd been training those, they were kind of finished, so I needed new running shoes. Just before I started running half marathons, that is when I launched SD Nutrition. Now before this, years prior, I was doing a health and wellness company selling health and wellness products and supplements. Throughout that, I had done different things in nutrition. I learned nutrition courses. I was quite clued up on what was great for your gut. I did so many different courses. I was thinking of a business idea, and my mum was like, why don't you teach you about nutrition? So I became a nutritional coach. Not a nutritionist, I became a nutrition coach, which is a life coach combined with someone that gives nutritional guidance for people to help them lose weight. And then running coaching was on the back burner. As I love to run, I want to teach people to run as well, but that was something I wanted to do secondary to the nutrition coaching. So S Nutrition was launched, and then I was also training myself to be an athlete as well. I fast forward a few months, training hard for this Toughest Mudder, got myself worked up, got all the nutrition, did all the research I could to get it right. My goal was to do 25 miles, 8 hours long in the night, 5-mile laps. I wanted to do 5 of these, but I got to mile 15 and my body kind of froze. It was so cold, I was shaking, shivering. Luckily, before I started, I bought this big jacket that people wear in OCR. I can't remember what it's called right now, but they have these big jackets. I actually paid about £100 for it, and I thought, oh God, this is going to be £100 one to waste. But it came in handy because I had to sit in that jacket for an hour till I warmed up, and then I decided I'm going to go do another lap. I did 20 miles. When that finished, I was like, oh my God, I'm ecstatic. I did 20 miles. You only started running a few years ago. That's how I felt straight away after. Fast forward a few days, reality hit that I didn't hit that 25 miles. And I just spent about a week in my feelings. Now, that's a lot of people don't see that side of people when you compete and you do races and you don't hit that goal that you want to hit. For me, I'm very competitive. So when I don't hit my own personal goals, I know I just hide away from society, and then that's it. I just don't talk to anybody. I just want to be in my mood, watching Netflix. But that's not as bad as my next race, which was a 5K. I think I did a race in between, but I did a 5K before I went because I wanted to get my 5K time before I went to Canada. I worked myself up so much that I didn't even finish the race. That's how bad it was. So I worked myself up to win, to get this time, stressed myself out. That 2K in, I actually got a massive stitch. I had to walk the rest of the race, which wasn't fun. It was so bad that at the end of the race I was actually crying. I wasn't even in pain anymore. I was crying because I didn't hit my time. It took me 28 minutes, and 28 minutes isn't a bad time for a 5K, by the way. But I was aiming for 19-20 minutes. It took me 28 minutes, so I started crying, went home, went to bed, and watched Netflix. And my mum came in and said, your race didn't go to plan, did it? And I was like, no. And I just basically cried the night away. But the tears don't stop there. Let me go on and I'll tell you how bad it gets. Really, I'm just a little crybaby basically. I moved to Canada, which was great. I ran into a bit of a sideways turn because obviously my life had changed, my job had changed, everything was different then. I was working in sales, I was working long hours, I was meeting new people, making new friends, I'd moved house, moved country, I was trying to settle. It was a lot happening. I was working in a gym. I managed to do different things in the gym and get a free membership and work out, but it was all a bit ad hoc because I had to do it around my working hours, had to do it when I was available, when I could get to the gym. But then come January, I was like, right, I'm here in Canada. I wonder if there's a Toughest Mudder here. And I found there was one in America, in Detroit, which was about 2 hours drive, maximum 4 hours, which is much closer than the one in the UK, which was 4 hours where I lived. But it was in June and I hadn't started any training at all, and I'm in January right now. Last time I started training in October for one that was in May. February came, that's it, I started training, I started going for it. Not enough time, if I'm honest with you, to train for an 8-hour race in the night. My running wasn't up to par. I think I did about 20 miles maximum in the week compared to my 36 miles that I was running the year before. And I focused a lot on the gym. I was doing a lot of strength training and weightlifting. And then when it came to June, I felt really ready. So I got everything in my car, my rental car, went over the border, which is very nerve-wracking. The Americans don't joke, and I don't have a Canadian passport, so I had to use my UK passport. They searched my whole car, and they'd never heard of Toughest Mudder. They never heard of Croydon. So they asked me all these questions, and I literally thought I was in trouble, but no, they were just joking. Anyway, I got over the border, and the race starts at midnight, and this time I was with a lot of the big boys. So in America, they take this very seriously, this OCR stuff, and I was like, oh my God, one of the top OCR races in the world, Lindsay Webster was there. So anyway, I met these really nice girls. Compared to last year, everyone was really snobby and no one spoke to me. This year I met some really nice girls and they were telling me their goals, and I was like, my goal is 25 miles. I just want to hit the threshold, because at 25 miles you get a special badge, and if you go for World's Toughest Mudder, you actually get to be a contender, so you get to go at the front. So a lot of these girls would go for 30, 35 miles, and I was like, I would love 30, but I'd be happy with 25. And they kind of looked at me like, oh, you're a newbie. But they were really lovely, but they were literally like, she's a newbie, like, you're gonna love it, because I'd only done one before. It was my first one in the US. And they were all really nice because I was from the UK, so they were asking questions about London. These girls went right to the front. Now I was like, I'm going to the back because I know they've done so many. Why did I do that? Why did I second guess myself? Literally, I ended up near the front right at the beginning. For the first 3 laps of that one, I was actually top 5 female. I was right behind Lindsay Webster, who is a Tough Mudder and Spartan champion of the world. I was so excited. Yay, I'm gonna win some money. I didn't, but I thought I was. Top 5 female for the first 4 laps I was. Come lap 4 now, my plan was to change my clothes, have something to eat and get back out there. And it really worked. I also had an after workout drink to get me pumped up again because I felt like I was getting a bit of muscle soreness. Now I don't recommend having an after workout halfway through your workout, but when you're about 5-6 hours into doing a obstacle course, then yes, I do recommend that. And it really helps. I got through lap 5, but what I should have done after lap 5 is taken that drink again. For the 6th lap, I'm on about 30 odd miles, maybe a little bit less than 30 miles, as I failed some of the obstacles, and when you fail that, you have to do all these extra laps of running. By the 6th lap, I was totally finished. My shoulders were going, everything was going. But I'd already started it because I had about 2 hours left, or an hour and a half, so I thought I can do another lap in that time. I tried to run, and I kid you not, on this lap, about 5 women lapped me because I literally couldn't run at all. My shoulder was gone, but I made it to the end. It got to around an hour left and I had to finish, and I literally just booked it because if you don't finish that lap before 8:30, then you're disqualified from that lap. I am not gonna go out with this broken body and this lap doesn't count. And I finished on 30 miles from the year before doing my 20 and then catching hypothermia, and then the next year coming back and doing 30 miles overnight in the dark. I had no support team, no crew, nobody could come with me, did it all by myself. And then I drove back to Canada in the morning, 2-hour drive, and I was absolutely okay. I was like, yeah, you've got something in you, you've got that drive, you've got that power, you can do anything you want to do. After that, your body takes a little bit of time to rest, get back to normal. So take a little bit of a break. In the summer, I tend not to run as much anyway because it's kind of hot. So I focused actually on a lot of weight training in the summer. I learned how to deadlift that year, so that was 2018. I love now to deadlift, it's one of my favourite exercises to do. So now my story is going to go a bit flippy floppy. I'm going to go back to 2017 actually, when I first started working in the gym. But I had to have 3 sessions with a personal trainer. They asked me what my goals were, and my goals were to run faster. And then what I found was a lot of my muscles in my body wasn't even active. What I was telling people to do for my running coaching business, I was even doing myself. My hamstrings weren't activated, my glutes weren't activated, my hips are really tight, my ankles weren't working properly, my feet were too flat, my shoulders weren't that mobile. Everything was off, like my whole body was off. So he worked with me and taught me how to get more flexibility in my hips. I found that I couldn't even squat properly. Imagine that, here I am teaching people to run, do X, Y, Z. I can't even squat myself. That was really helpful because now I know how to use my own body and I can help other people even more. I'm happy to say that I can actually squat now with the bar. But again, going back to my fitness journey, we'll go back to the next year as before, I hurt my back again as I was working out with someone else. Now when I work out on my own, after that 10K, I vowed to be careful when I work out and not to injure myself. I worked out with somebody else and I ended up injuring my back again, even worse this time. And I was actually in floods of tears in front of everybody at the gym. One of my good friends, personal trainer, actually helped me get out the gym and get into an Uber to get home. Otherwise, I would have been stuck in the gym all night. Absolute nightmare. I learned to engage my core, how to activate different parts of my body because I was not planning to get injured again. I've had 2 back injuries. Luckily, I've been okay, not having to go to hospital or anything like that. The second one was worse than the first. I was actually off work the next day, couldn't get up or do anything. Other than that, I've had no other injuries, thank God. Now we're in 2018, summer rolls by, I finished America's Toughest Mudder, I'm a contender for World's Toughest Mudder, I've done my 30 miles, I am on top of the world, I feel like an absolute champion. And then come in October, I'm like, okay, let me do some of these races in Canada because they just look so fun. And in Canada, they've got more of like a chill vibe, like here in the UK, where people run, they're like, we're running, we're runners, we're going, we're gonna get these race results, blah, blah. I lived in somewhere called London, Ontario, which had loads of nature, loads of trees. When I did this trail run, I thought I can do this. I've done 3 Tough Mudders before. And let me tell you, a trail run is not the same thing. It's totally different. I swear to God, I nearly broke my neck more times than I could count on that trail run. All the trees sticking up, because when you do a Tough Mudder, you can run, walk. They use the obstacles and you start running again. Trail runs are just a straight kind of sprint in the woods. I felt like I was George of the Jungle, Tarzan or something, but without the kind of skills that they have. That's how I felt doing the trail run. And what I did basically was win the race. Somehow, by accident. So what happened was, when I was running, normally what I do, I check how many females are ahead and behind me. So I normally try and get in the top 5 at least, or top 10, how many females there are. At this point, I was about top 3. I managed to pass a few people. And then what happened was, the girl that was in front got stuck in this narrow bit. So we all were like trailing behind us. As soon as the narrow bit was finished and we go into the open space again, I just bolted it and ran so fast, right to the end, and then I became first. So I was a winner. So I was really happy about that. I didn't set out to win, and that was one of the important things. If we go back to me running my previous 5k, where I couldn't finish it, it's because I set out to win, stressed myself out. That one, I just wanted to do a trail run, and to be honest, most of the race I spent trying to break my actual neck. So winning wasn't part of my plan and part of my journey, but there I was talking about winning other races. So around about this time, I moved in with one of my best friends, and she drove me to where this race, I couldn't know where it was. She drove me and she picked me up and everything. It was really nice. So I ran a 10k. I went in the middle because I'm not overly fast, but I'm not overly slow either. I'd say I'm a very average runner. I'm a running coach, but I'm an average runner. The females in the 10k, compared to the 5k I did about 6 months before that, they were ready to go. They were really quick. They were fast. They were off. I was third at some point. And when I got to third place, I was struggling to keep up that third place because I could feel there was someone behind me and the girl in second wasn't giving up. The girl that was in second place, I don't know what happened, but I ended up passing her. And the girl that was in first place, she ended up actually like slipping at some point. She didn't fall over, she slipped. And then it slowed her down a bit. So I went in front of her, but when you're leading the race, you have to keep up that gap. So I had to run really fast so she didn't catch me. And then right near the end, I thought she was behind me. So for like the last 200-300 meters, I bolted to the end of this race, and then I won again, 10k. So I won a 10k and a 5k in Canada. I was so excited, and I was like, here I am, champion, you know me, running coach. But the problem was, I had tied my worth as a running coach into how many races that I won. This isn't good because no matter how many races I won, it doesn't determine how good I am as a running coach. But I didn't really notice it until I did a Spartan race. I just went to a Spartan race. I could qualify actually for the OCL World Championships, and I actually found out recently that I actually did qualify, but at the time didn't feel like I did. And I'll tell you why. I did the Spartan race, and again my fantastic roommate, she got up at 3 a.m. or something like that, 4 a.m. It was really early, and drove me about 3-4 hours away from where we lived in Canada to take me to this race. It wasn't very long. It was the 5k race. It was the sprint. I can't remember the reason why I did the sprint. I think it's because I was leaving Canada soon, so that was the one that I could get in time, and we could always get back, and it was early enough. And I was so sure, after doing all these tough runners, that I was going to be one of the top 10 at least, like, you know, one of the winners. What happened was, I started running really fast, but with Spartan, it's a mixture of a trail race and doing obstacles, not as low-key and as easy flowing as Tough Mudder. At the start of the race, I actually got what I call a stitch. I'm not sure what they call it in North America, but in the UK we call it a stitch, where you get a really bad cramp at the side of your stomach, and then you can't really run anymore. So I couldn't run that fast, and then it came things like the rope climb, which I can't really do, and then I just couldn't run that fast because this stitch was really hurting me. But I was like, I'm going to push through. I'm not going to end like I did that last race. I'm going to push through. And then the monkey bars is where everyone can see you. So my roommate's there, she's cheering me on, and I'm like, oh no. Luckily, I managed to get to the monkey bars. I don't know how, with a massive stitch. If I didn't have a stitch, those monkey bars would have been done like that. But I had this massive stitch, got to the end of these monkey bars, managed to finish the Spartan race. I was second to last, but I did one with the elite group. Sometimes I really push myself and put myself in these situations, but really I didn't do that bad considering I had a stitch and I was in the elite group. After I did that Spartan race, came nearly last, I actually ended up spending a week again in solitude, and then that's when it really clicked for me that I have to stop linking my self-worth when I run to my business. It's two different things. How good I am a coach does not determine how well I'll do in these races, especially things like Spartan races where there's no guarantees that I'm going to be the best runner. A few weeks later, I actually did a Tough Mudder in a group, and that was amazing. That really got me back into the love and the joy of doing obstacle courses. Running in a group with other people, it just brings so much fun and excitement and motivation. I always run on my own. Apart from the starting race where my roommate came with me for the whole time, I've always done races by myself. So this was great to run in a group, other people. It wasn't about competition at all. It wasn't about winning. That was the last big race that I'd done. I had some planned, but currently, as you're watching this, we are in a lockdown in the UK. Now I moved back to the UK in October. To be honest, the furthest I've mostly done since I've been back is about 7k. I've not been doing any strenuous running. I'm going to get back on running half marathons and things like that very soon. But that's basically my running story. I've told you I've started from nothing, the ground up, and literally had to push myself, motivate myself to get where I am today. But it just shows anything is possible. For me, I went from never running and within 2 years I became a running coach. So all you people that think that I was always into fitness, always did running, no, literally I became a runner, I would say properly about 3 years ago when I actually started SC Nutrition and started running those half marathons. But I have learned throughout my journey not to put too much pressure on myself and just to stay positive, because I am actually here to help other people start running. I'm not here to be hard on myself. That's why I started running in the first place, to inspire other people, to show them what is possible. So guys, if you like this video, as always, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back with more running top tips. You know me, and thank you for joining me for my journey. I'll see you all soon.